Have you ever poured your heart into helping someone only to be met with indifference or worse, outright disrespect? You hold the door open for someone, but they stroll past without even a nod. You go the extra mile for a colleague only to get a sarcastic remark in return. Moments like these can leave you questioning, is my kindness even worth it? Before you start doubting yourself, take a step back and reconsider. Stoic philosophy teaches us that kindness is not a weakness, but a powerful expression of inner strength. However, without boundaries and wisdom, that very kindness can be taken for granted. So how can we turn kindness into a force that not only reflects our values, but also earns respect? Let's dive into timeless Stoic lessons and discover how to practice kindness in a way that elevates both ourselves and those around us. Let's begin. 1. Kindness can backfire when lacking boundaries. Imagine being the person who's always there for others, ready to help at a moment's notice. You lend a hand to your neighbor when their gate breaks, or you drop everything to help a friend in need. At first, people appreciate your generosity, maybe even express heartfelt gratitude. But over time, something shifts. That kindness, which once felt like a special gift, starts to feel expected. And suddenly, when you say no, when you're too busy, too tired, or simply need a break, you're met with disappointment, frustration, or even resentment. This is where the real issue lies. It's not the kindness itself, but the lack of boundaries. Stoic philosophy tells us that kindness should come from a place of strength, not from a fear of rejection or the need to please. If you give without boundaries, you're not offering your kindness freely. You're feeding into dependency, both your own and others. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul is dyed the color of its thoughts." So if your kindness is rooted in the need to please, you're inadvertently coloring your soul with dependence. But when your kindness is grounded in self-awareness and guided by your core values, it becomes a force that reflects your strength, not your weakness. The lesson is clear. Kindness without limits can leave you feeling drained and unappreciated. But when practiced with boundaries, it becomes a powerful reflection of your own self-respect. So next time you offer help, ask yourself, am I giving because I genuinely want to? Or am I simply trying to avoid disappointing others? Setting limits doesn't make you any less kind. It preserves your kindness, ensuring it remains a reflection of your strength and values. 2. The difference between kindness and people-pleasing. Imagine someone like Mark, a dad who always puts his family first. Whenever anyone in the house needs something, whether it's a ride to soccer practice, a broken appliance fixed, or just a moment of attention, he's there. No questions asked. In the beginning, everyone appreciates his efforts, and he's seen as the hero. But over time, something shifts. His constant availability begins to feel like an expectation. When he finally says no because he's exhausted or has his own needs, suddenly he's met with complaints. "But you always help, why not now?" This is when Mark realizes that his constant kindness wasn't creating admiration, but rather a cycle of entitlement. The difference here is subtle but important. Kindness, when practiced without boundaries, can blur the line into people-pleasing. Stoic philosophy teaches us that kindness shouldn't come from a place of fear of disappointing others, fear of rejection. When kindness stems from the need to be liked or to avoid conflict, it can easily lead to resentment. But when kindness is rooted in self-awareness and a clear understanding of your values, it turns into something far more powerful, a reflection of your inner strength, not your need for approval. The lesson here is profound. People-pleasing isn't kindness, it's a trap. It sacrifices your true self in exchange for temporary acceptance. Genuine kindness, on the other hand, is purposeful. It's given freely, but not at the cost of your dignity or well-being. Next time you feel that urge to say yes to everything, ask yourself, am I saying yes because I want to, or because I'm afraid of letting someone down? Real kindness isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about being authentic, and sometimes that means saying no in a way that still reflects your values. 3. Practicing kindness with boundaries without losing your true self. Picture someone like Jack, the guy who's always the first to offer help. Whether it's moving furniture for a friend or taking on extra tasks at work, Jack is always there. At first, everyone appreciates his generosity and willingness, but over time, it starts to feel like an expectation. One day, Jack says no because he's too tired and needs a break. Instead of understanding, he's met with disappointment, even criticism. That's when Jack realizes something important. His kindness, while coming from a good place, has been misunderstood and exploited. Here's where Stoic philosophy shines through. It teaches us that true kindness isn't just about giving endlessly, it's about intentional giving. Kindness must come from a place of self-respect and inner strength. When you constantly give without setting limits, you might begin to feel drained or even taken advantage of. That's why boundaries are essential. They don't make you less kind. They preserve the power of your kindness and protect it from being exploited. The truth is, saying no can be one of the most empowering acts of kindness. It shows others that you value yourself and your time. And here's the kicker. It doesn't diminish your generosity, it elevates it. By saying no when necessary, you send the message that your kindness is a choice, not an obligation. And in doing so, you can continue giving in a way that honors both you and those around you. 4. Boundaries help protect the value of kindness. Think about a time when you helped a friend, maybe with something big like fixing their car or supporting them through a tough period. At first, they were incredibly grateful. Coffee, thanks, maybe even a small gift as a token of appreciation. But then as time passed, you started to notice something. The gratitude began to fade, and what once felt like a kind gift started to feel more like an obligation. The next time they needed help, it wasn't a request, but an expectation. And that's when you realize you've been giving without boundaries, and your kindness is slowly losing its value. This is a tough truth that many of us face. Kindness without limits can lead to exploitation. Stoic philosophy teaches us that real kindness isn't about endless sacrifice. It's about giving with purpose, with clear awareness of your limits. The problem arises when kindness starts coming from a place of guilt, or worse, from the need for approval. If you're always giving because you're afraid of letting others down, your kindness becomes fragile, easily taken for granted and ultimately resented. Here's the key. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's a way of protecting the integrity of your kindness. When you say no, you're not rejecting others. You're simply honoring yourself. You're making sure that your kindness remains a powerful and genuine act, not one that's drained by unspoken expectations. By learning to establish limits, you not only protect your own well-being, but you also teach others to value your contributions more deeply. The lesson is profound. If kindness comes without boundaries, it loses its worth. But when practiced with wisdom and limits, kindness becomes a resource that not only enriches others, but strengthens you as well. It's the difference between kindness that leaves you feeling empty and kindness that uplifts both the giver and the receiver. In the end, kindness is not about unconditional sacrifice or seeking validation. True kindness is a conscious act, born from self-respect and the values you uphold. When practiced with boundaries and self-awareness, kindness not only protects you, but also makes your actions stronger and more meaningful. Don't let your kindness be misunderstood or exploited. Let it be a force that no one can diminish. If you found this message valuable, make sure to subscribe to the Stoic Beacon on YouTube for more insightful Stoic lessons and wisdom. Feel free to share your stories and thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.